The BYD Shark is making waves in the automotive world. It's all over the media, with articles, videos, and even shark sightings in the wild. But why is everyone talking about it? What makes the BYD Shark so special? Up until now, no one in the media has truly grasped how the BYD Shark works, or why it's completely different from anything else on the market. The BYD Shark is in a league of its own when it comes to both its operation and what it's going to provide at the price it'll sell for. So today, I'm going to clear everything up. I'm going to explain how the BYD Shark works, what it offers, and why it will revolutionise how Australians view utility vehicles on this episode of Beyond EV, your home for everything BYD. And full disclosure, every bit of information I present in this video today was obtained by me through my own independent research and through interviewing actual BYD Shark owners in other markets. None of this information was provided to me directly by BYD, so there is a chance that the specifications may actually be slightly different when the vehicle comes out. Hi everyone, David here from Beyond EV, and you know what? I think we're getting close. The BYD Shark has been all over the media this week, and even a registered non-camouflage version was seen driven to an event in Sydney. In this video, I'm going to go through absolutely everything you need to know about the BYD Shark, from how its powertrain works, its specifications, its level of utility, and even what you'll be able to do to modify your BYD Shark to make it your own. Yes, that's right, there's already mods available for it, from lift kits to tray covers to roll bars and lights. But first up, I'm going to explain in plain English how the BYD hybrid system actually works in the BYD Shark. The BYD Shark will be powered by BYD's DMO platform, or dual mode off-road platform. Now, straight up, to understand how this platform works, I need everyone watching to not think of this as anything similar to any current hybrid platform or plug-in platform that you've heard of before. Whatever you think about hybrids or plug-in hybrids right now, throw all of that out the window. Because the BYD Shark DMO platform is completely different. Okay, so if you've gotten everything you know about hybrids, cool, let's move on. This is how I want you to think about the BYD Shark. The BYD Shark is an electric vehicle. That's right, you heard me. The BYD Shark is an EV. Ignore the engine part of the BYD hybrid system for now and just think of the BYD Shark as a pure electric vehicle. If you think of the BYD Shark like that, then the rest of this section will make a whole lot more sense. Just like in any EV, when the battery goes flat, you cannot drive, even if you have petrol in the tank. Remember, the BYD Shark is an EV, and in an EV, the battery is the main power source of the car. The BYD Shark is propelled by two electric motors, one on each axle, offering four-wheel drive capability. These electric motors are powered by a 30 kilowatt-hour BYD LFP blade battery. For 99% of the time, all of the power, all of the torque that goes to the wheels comes from just these two electric motors, just like a normal EV. The electric motor in an EV is right there on the axle. When you put your foot down on the accelerator, the power goes straight from the electric motor through what is effectively a differential, and then straight to the axle, which then turns the wheels. Normal petrol engines run at about 30% efficiency. That means only 30% of the petrol burned actually goes to moving the wheels. 70% of that energy is just lost as heat. Electric motors operate at around 70 to 80% efficiency. So about 70 to 80% of every watt of power that you send to the motor will go to the wheels. And the line from the power generation to wheel in an EV is very, very short. For 99% of all of your driving, the BYD Shark will be powered by this electric powertrain and will effectively drive and feel like you're operating a full electric ute. Now, with that clear in your mind, let's go back a bit. The petrol engine, it is there. So if it's not powering the wheels, what is it even there for? Well, that petrol engine is essentially just an electric power generator to charge the battery, and that's about it. The 30 kilowatt hour battery in the BYD Shark is only going to last 100 kilometers on its own. And you can actually run the BYD Shark without any petrol at all. You can just run it as a pure EV all of the time if you wanted to. The petrol engine simply acts as a generator that will keep charging up the battery as you drain it from driving. Of course, being less efficient, the petrol engine cannot put more charge into the battery than what you will drain from it from driving. But what this does is essentially extend the range of the battery that would usually only go 100 kilometers and stretches it out all the way up to 800 kilometers of range. So what BYD has done here is turn what would have been an EV with a 100 kilometer range into an EV with an 800 kilometer range by adding an onboard petrol generator to it. How this actually works on the BYD Shark is that, by default, it will run off electricity only until the battery gets down to about 20% remaining. It will then kick on the petrol engine to charge the battery up and try to keep the battery at around that 20 to 30% mark for as long as possible. And I say by default because you can actually change the settings to make the petrol engine kick on whenever you want. If you think you will be heading towards some treacherous terrain later on, you might want to set the engine to kick on at about 50%. That way you have enough battery capacity to use when you need it for power-hungry, high-torque situations on your trip. Now, despite all of this, the petrol engine in the BYD Shark can actually power the wheels, but not in the way you might be thinking. The engine is just a 1.5 litre turbo inline 4-cylinder engine and only puts out around 77 kilowatts. This is a tiny engine and there is no way known that it will add any extra grunt when you need it to a car as heavy as what the BYD Shark will be. No, in fact, it's the opposite. This tiny engine will supply power to the front wheels when extra grunt is not needed. For instance, when you're cruising at 110 kilometers an hour on a freeway. When cruising at highway speeds, that is the perfect window where internal combustion engines actually become more energy efficient than electric motors. So instead of being powered entirely by electricity, the BYD Shark will combine power from the electric motors as well as directly from the petrol engine itself. Doing this saves battery capacity for a time when the electric motors can be better utilized on their own, such as low-speed, high-torque situations like taking off from a stopped position. Because the petrol engine will only be used to power the front wheels in these high-speed situations, there is no transmission required. Instead, the BYD Shark features a single-speed EHS transmission, and that is essentially an automatic clutch that electronically redirects the power generated from the petrol engine between going to the axle or going to the battery, or both. So that is how the BYD hybrid system will work on the BYD Shark. It is essentially a battery electric EV with an onboard generator that keeps the battery topped up. Now with that cleared up, let's get into the specs of the BYD Shark. Most manufacturers only manufacture around 40% to 50% of their cars in-house. The rest is outsourced to dedicated parts manufacturers. What separates BYD from other car manufacturers is that BYD manufactures over 70% of their car in-house. The engine, the EV powertrain, the battery, the windows, the door trims, and even all of the software to control it all is all made and developed by BYD. The BYD Shark will ride on BYD's DMO platform, a dedicated hybrid platform for off-road vehicles, and is shared with the Fangjin Bao 5, a luxury off-road SUV currently only available to the Chinese market. The DMO platform used on the BYD Shark will be powered by a 30 kilowatt-hour BYD LFP blade battery that can be charged from 30% to 80% in just 20 minutes using a 40 kilowatt DC fast charger. BYD's LFP blade battery is not your average EV battery. Check out my other video called 5 Automotive Technologies that make BYD stand out to find out everything you need to know about BYD's LFP blade battery technology. This battery will power 2 BYD electric motors, a 170 kilowatt front motor and 150 kilowatt rear motor, providing a combined 320 kilowatts of power and 650 newton meters of torque. This will accelerate the BYD Shark from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just 5.7 seconds. That is nearly half a second faster than the Ford Raptor, and is even faster than my very own BYD Seal Premium that does 0 to 100 in 5.9 seconds. The BYD blade battery will supply up to 100 kilometers electric only range on the NEDC cycle. In reality, you would be only running the battery down to 20% before the petrol motor kicks in, and the NEDC cycle is a bit more optimistic than other standards. So I would hazard a guess and say that you would only get around 70 kilometers of electric only range before you hit 20%. With the car running in autonomous mode, where the car decides when to turn the engine on or not, the combined petrol and electric NEDC range is a claimed 840 kilometers. Again, NEDC can be a little bit generous. In reality, If you're traveling less than 80 kilometers a day and charge at home every night, you will most likely never have to add fuel to the BYD Shark. As Tim mentioned in his BYD Shark owner's review, he had the BYD Shark for about 3 weeks, and at that point, he had covered over 1,300 kilometers in that time and had not yet added a single drop of fuel to it since he picked it up from the dealership. As for what that drivetrain will be riding on, the BYD Shark will ride on independent double wishbones on both the front and rear suspension and will feature 18-inch two-tone alloy rims as standard. From the way it works to the way it will feel driving, the BYD Shark will definitely stand out from just about any other ute that comes onto the market. The BYD Shark will measure in at 5.46 meters long by 1.97 meters wide by 1.93 meters high, and will ride on a 3.26 meter wheelbase. This makes it slightly bigger in all directions to the Ford Ranger. This larger size also gives it a slightly larger turning circle of 13.5 meters. That compares to 12.7 meters on the Ranger. The cargo tub measures in at 152 centimeters by 150 centimeters by 51 centimeters, with a total volume of 1,450 liters. This makes it very, very close to the tub size of the Ford Wildtrak. More on that later. The BYD Shark will have a GVM of 3.5 tons, allowing for an 835 kilogram payload capacity and up to 2.5 ton towing capacity. The BYD Shark will seat 5 occupants with power adjustable seats for both the driver and front passenger seats. The rear seat back will fold down flat, but when it's upright, will also feature height adjustable headrests and ISOFIX anchor points on the outer seats. The BYD Shark will feature many common technologies found on other BYD vehicles, and then some. It will feature BYD's signature 15.6-inch high-resolution touchscreen display that can rotate from portrait to landscape at the touch of a button. At 15.6 inches, this screen is like having a laptop screen built into the dashboard of your car. This display will operate both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wirelessly, and will also feature 4G connectivity to receive over-the-air updates as required. Underneath the large screen will be a single 50-watt wireless phone charger and an array of physical buttons to control both drive modes and basic AC controls. Behind the leather-lined steering wheel will be a 10.25-inch digital instrument cluster that will feature changeable dash layouts. Around the outside of the car will be BYD's virtual 360-degree camera array, which will allow you to view the car from a third-person perspective and see it from an angle as if someone was standing outside the car and pointing a camera at it. This will be paired with 2 front and 4 rear radar sensors to provide parking assistance. Not a fan of lugging keys around? No worries. The BYD Shark will come paired with BYD's Vehicle Control app, which will allow you to use your phone to be your digital key to unlock and operate your BYD Shark. If you're not ready to leave yet, this same app can also be used to turn the AC on and set it to your desired temperature remotely before you get back, and will give you a live reading of what the current temperature is inside the cabin while it's doing it. This is just what is needed when it's absolutely freezing outside, so you don't hop in before it's heated up to a comfortable level.
Ooh, lousy smarts weather.
Speaking of AC, the BYD Shark will also feature an automatic dual zone air conditioning system with front and rear air vents. In addition to this, it will also feature a negative ion generator to help provide clean air into the cabin, as well as a fully fledged PM 2.5 air quality detection system that will give you a live reading of what the PM 2.5 air quality is both inside and outside the cabin. Air quality looking bad? The air conditioning system features a green purification system that you can activate to rapidly filter and purify the air within the cabin. Something you may have to use every once in a while depending who's riding shotgun with you.
Oh, damn! Let the window down!
But I think the best piece of technology that will be available in the BYD Shark are the 3 10-amp power outlets in the tub that will provide up to 6 kilowatts of vehicle-to-load capacity. These 3 power outlets will turn your BYD Shark into your very own power station and will allow you to power tools, camping equipment, and even provide emergency power when you have a blackout at your home. With 30 kilowatts on tap, this means you'll be able to keep your fridge and freezer running for days. This feature alone will fundamentally change how we think about vehicle utility. The next time we buy a car, it won't just be how far can it go or how much it can carry. It will also be how long will it power my appliances for when I'm off grid for a few days. The BYD Shark has been on sale in Mexico since April, and in that time a number of lucky owners have already started modifying their BYD Sharks. Lift kits are common over there, and there have been a few with 2-inch lift kits and 35-inch muddies rolling around. Here's a few that have been snapped so far. Remember when I said this earlier? With a total volume of 1,450 litres. This makes it very, very close to the top size of the Ford Wildtrak. More on that later. You know what that means, right? That means that Ford Ranger accessories should fit onto the BYD Shark. And I say should and not will, because until someone does it here in Australia, I don't want to 100% confirm it. But it is now common knowledge in Mexico that accessories designed for the Ford Ranger over there, such as roll bars, light bars, tonneau covers, and racks, will fit onto the BYD Shark. If this holds true for the BYD Shark that lands in Australia, that means you won't have to wait for an aftermarket to build up before you get the chance to make your BYD Shark your own. You can use parts fitted for the Ranger straight off the shelf. Or at least, I hope that ends up being the case. The one thing we don't know yet about the BYD Shark is the price. There is one thing we do know though, and that it is currently available in Mexico in 2 trim levels, and their prices are $68,000 Australian and $73,000 Australian. Now this is actually in line with that price that was leaked on the New South Wales Department of Transport website not long ago. I honestly believe the BYD Shark will not just make a splash on the Australian automotive scene, it's going to tear it to pieces and completely shake up the landscape. But what do you think? Are you looking to get your hands on a BYD Shark when it comes out? Or if not, why? And what else are you looking at instead? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you're new here, then please subscribe for more dedicated BYD related content. We have plenty more videos headed your way. That's it for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.